Namaste everyone and welcome. Today our topic is about Pratiprasava. It means literally translated as returning to the source. The source is actually, it's about the true nature. In the text mostly it says that the source is actually pure, that which is unchanging due to the nature or the prakriti, because it causes of our life experiences and our mind changes. It can be past or the present or now, who you are now, who you were before, or who you will be in the future. The way we act, the way we think, the way we react, consciously, unconsciously, there are some changes due to kleshas, means afflictions in English. Can be the ego, attachment, desires, and also fear of death or fear of losing something or clinging on to something, aversions, hatred, jealousy, anger. So these are these emotions, thoughts, and your actions might cause something that you are now. The way you react is different than the past, and the future might affect. So why I give you this insight about the source, going back to the true nature. For example, if you look at this picture, a yogi sits and meditating and trying to achieve that clarity and trying to find that the true love, like going back to the true nature. It takes an effort. Basically, in meditation is the tool and the Kriya Yoga. Because Kriya Yoga, you have tapas, means austerity or self-discipline towards the practice, constantly meditating. And swadhyaya means self-study or knowing the self. So this practice is actually more close to the Kriya Yoga. I mean, there are many types of meditation too, but you have to see which way of the meditation can make you find the true nature and understanding the cause and the effect and where the suffering coming from, where that behavior coming from, or the way you react to it, consciously, unconsciously. So the whole point is returning to the source. The source, ultimately, the true nature, that which is unchanging, that which is undisturbed or uncaused, akasha we say, or purusha. So if we go back to the picture, you can see that it takes such an effort, the meditation. It's not about like how long you meditate, how many hours you meditate. It's about surrendering to the truth and finding the cause and going back to the root and meditating upon that idea or thought or that object or what it caused. But not running away, not trying to okay, this is what it is and this is what I am. Otherwise, we can never change that, the behavior that who we are now. For example, I would say, ego, most of us have ego. Let's say you've been rude, or you've been angry, or you've been famous, or you've been certain that you wanted to have, that I'm the best, for example, you say. And when those things didn't happen, how, for example, let's say now, okay, those things happen that you're the best, let's say, for example, and you're angry, or you are like attachment towards something and you desire or you want something. You got it, but now you didn't get it. So how do you, I would say that 1 minute, I would say, how do you address yourself? You are that fear, you are that attachment, or you are that ignorant, or you are that love, or you are that desire or craving for it. So you need to understand where it's coming from. Then, once you find that root, to weaken those seeds, the impressions, because of the past experience. Maybe your attitude, your behavior might change now, but you're not this person now or that person now. So the text says that returning to the source, the true nature. See, in the world, often we seek happiness from the material world, from reality. You want this, I want that now. But the point is, after some time, if you find, the more you grow, the more you learn. But the whole point in yogic meditation is to returning to the source, to find that the deep root, what it caused you to make you the person now or who you were before. When you awaken that klesha, how do you awaken? By meditating constantly, understanding and letting go very gently. It's like replacing the negativity to positive. But both positive and negative also has an impact on the mind, because we cannot have all the time positive, we cannot have all the time negative. So you have to find the true nature that doesn't exist. It's almost like nothing, and it dissolves from gross to subtle, from gross matters to subtle matters. It takes time, it takes a practice called Ishvara Pranidhana, means self-surrender to the Supreme Consciousness. Or if you're theist, like you believe in a God, you probably have to devote yourself that there is some higher power more than you, or there's some higher Supreme Consciousness. So whatever your actions are you doing, it's not for I or you, it's for like the Supreme Consciousness, the happening itself. It's like being inactive by active, or being active by inactive. It's almost like neutral. So it's like, this takes the Kriya Yoga, for example. I did one of the talks in my season 1. If you go back and search in this channel, you can type, probably you can say like Kriya Yoga. There are 3 steps involved. So you can have more insight about what is Kriya Yoga, so that you can understand how to practice Kriya Yoga to get that freedom in our mind and body. But in this talk, also we're close to Kriya Yoga. It's one of the tools. So I was saying that I has to taken out, or you have to work so hard to get rid of this I, feeling this, or I. So returning to the true source might take such an effort that where it takes a deep contemplation and constant practice in the meditation might be very helpful. I would like to share the sutra from the chapter 2, 10th verse. It says that, Te Pratiprasava heyaha shukshmaha. It means these subtle states of afflictions, the 5 kleshas, are destroyed with dissolution of the mind. In order to dissolve the mental afflictions, dissolve, like literally let go. It takes time, but dissolve gently. And the fluctuation of the mind that causes, because they both are linked. The practitioner must observe. So if you look at this picture, this is a self-scanning, like the body-mind scan. Where's my mind going? So it is very important to observe of the root, what it causes and what it affects, and how you are acting now, how you were before. So that's one of the the point that I can make it literally observe. So you must be a great observer, and you have to witness your own mind, witnessing the mind, witnessing your, like how things working on your mind. Self-control, it's one of the in yoga practice, in most of the spiritual practice, self-control is very important, because understanding our true nature, it takes quite a lot of work, I would say. Even often I have struggle focusing on my presence, these days, due to the COVID, there are certain changes in my professional life as an artist. But we're not getting into that, but just I kind of give you my experience. I'm trying to accept and adjust the changes that I'm going through. How I was doing, of course, it does impact me also. I'm in the same page as you. We all are, often we suffer or feeling pain with some kind of a loss or some kind of a changes in our life. We need to adjust the changes constantly because our mind is wrapped up with the previous material world. We can go shop, we can move around, we can meet our friends, we can go anywhere, we fly everywhere, we buy anything we want. But now you can't. I mean, you can, but the story is a little different. So if I talk about the presence, due to this COVID, we have such a changes in our mind. And these days also I've seen people suicide themselves because literally can't handle the stress levels and then can't go. And people lost jobs, life changes, relationship has been broken, and the business has been closed down. So it goes on. So from my experience, what I've seen is we have to understand the source and the deep root. So Pratiprasava, returning to the source where it's coming from, not just like giving up. We must continue whatever it takes. And that's what Gita says to you. You must move forward. You must, whatever it takes, you must keep moving forward in one pointed direction. So by self-surrendering to the Supreme Consciousness, one of the things that we can attain that moksha or self-realization, or the next level is kaivalya, means the ultimate freedom. It takes a lot of work. I would say observe where it's coming from. And then you have to be witness to your mind. Then only you can make from the gross to subtle. I mean, you might think sometimes, oh my God, this is a big thing happening in my life. But if you understand what is it because of the attachment or the desire or aversion or hatred, angry, jealous, or fear of losing something, where it's coming from, so that you would make those gross to and to the subtle. Observe and witness. Observe where it's coming from the deep root and witness your mind, the fluctuations. Then only we can weaken from negative to positive or make it even neutral based on the text. So meditation is one of the thing that you can literally work on it. Close your eyes and see. A person, for example, I mean, often there's a saying like, if you have dealing, with your anxiety or stress, or you're angry, or you just hate something generally, close your eyes and play some soft music and see what happens. It takes time. Just close your eyes. And close your eyes. I mean, the answers sometimes they say, the answers is within us. They're deeply rooted within us. So when we find that cause, we know the effect, and our attitude, our behavior, why we act and why we react, by understanding that past, can sometimes reveal the answers. And you can make the future better, and you'll be just like in the moment and not so like thrown up yourself like, why am I like this? Why this? Why that? There is like less questions and more of clarity, I would say. And also the advanced practitioner, for some people, like I've seen a Zen Buddhist or Tibetan, or mostly in Buddhist, the monks, the lamas, and also sannyasi, gurus or rishis, they are literally surpass like, and the mind altogether, and eventually they can have that such great control, that self-control can be a tool for us to find more freedom, to the returning to the source. And I would like to share one of the point from Taminini. It's a commentary. I'd like to read to you guys. The kleshas can exist one of two states, active and potential. Some kleshas, like afflictions, some are active, some are potential. A fit of anger is expressing the klesha of dvesha. Dvesha means hatred. Is an active state. Through the practice of yoga, a person may acquire the ability to remain calm in difficult situations. For example, a person is angry for nothing very often, or tensed when you heard something or when you feel something. It says that practice of yoga may acquire the ability to remain calm. And by remaining calm only, we can work through these emotions to be more from gross to subtle. I mean, from like big things to they get smaller. Remaining calm. It can be very difficult in any situation faced sometimes. So remaining calm can be one of the tools, can be helpful to weaken these clashes. And also, sometimes some things can trigger and they can become active. For example, let's say you're no more angry, you're no more this and that, no more feeling anything, you became neutral, but something can trigger you and it will become like active again. And there also you have to be calm and see, it's because the seed, the latent impression or the past, the thing, whatever the events that happen, it's always there now. So, as I said, it's a lot of work to do. And we must remain calm in this kind of like active and this potential situation that something can trigger you. So staying calm is one of the key. And Pratiprasava means to go back to the original state. Like the Purusha is not like this unchanging, uncaused, not disturbed by the nature or the material world or the reality or from your past or the future. You're just in the present. So it's like returning to the source. So very often like you're born again and again, like a baby, like a new person, or neutral. It just happened to you. So that can change our attitude to be more in the presence. It is hard though, but I'm not saying it's so easy. It needs a bit of work. And also, as long as the seed remains in us, even though it may be in a potential state called Sushupta, it can fructify given favorable triggers. To destroy the seeds completely, one needs to go through the various stages of samadhi, which has given another chapter called like this attained state of kaivalya. So there are more sutras than can lead you today, but today what I'm trying to give you an idea about this discussion about Pratiprasava is about returning to the source and understanding the cause. And the final point I would like to make is, do you think that in your core you are that fear, or you are that hate, or you are that attachment, or you are that ego, or you are that ignorance, or you are that love? Who are you? I know it's a question that most of us have. Who are we? Who we are? I think we need to find out that. And also, no person or the thing in the world trying to make you unhappy. You become unhappy due to expectations, laziness, overactivity, and to the reactions to the outside world. True happiness and joy come from knowing how to manage your mind by realizing your true nature. The source of life is love. Life is creative expression, and you are part of infinite creativity. All obstacles are also part of creative process of evolution and self-realization by Ram Bhakt. I thought this paragraph that has been written in this beautiful book, I would like to share about it. So most of the points are made very clear. So the question is, who are you? Are you that hatred? Are you that loving person? Are you that fear person? Or are you that attachment person? Are you that desire, want something all the time? Who are you? In yogic text, they say that I am not this body, I am not this mind. It's like neutral, nothingness. So by practicing Kriya Yoga, constant practice, constant study, constant understanding the self-realization path, and then the fifth one is surrender to the God, Kriya Yoga. Meditating, it's one of the great tool, I would say, to let go these afflictions from gross to subtle. And I would say, never let anything makes you feel down. Less expectation, more love. Less, I wouldn't say do less. Do your best, but completely detached. Do as best as you can in the moment. And that can help us to, returning to the source, Pratiprasava, and to go back to the true nature. So we will have this less expectations, less things can happen around us, but more joy and freedom. If you like this video, please do share and like, and probably I'll see you in the next topic. I would say for now, Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you and Namaste.